Hey, mic check. Look, if anybody believes in the Bible, right? I got that news for y'all, buddy boys. I got that news. You dig? Now, disclaimer though. If anybody does not believe in the Bible, right, you may disregard everything I'm finna say, right? Because I understand that it holds no weight according to your own circumstances, right? That's not bias. That's not forcing that on nobody, and that's fair at the exact same time, right? Now that that disclaimer is out the way, you said what?
An opinion.
Well, it's well, yeah. The point. There you go. Okay, so now that that disclaimer is out the way, let's get down to business. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11. All right. This is the book of Leviticus. Hey, 4, jump with us. There you go. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and verses 7 through 8, which states that it is a great sin to eat the flesh of the swine. All right, swine is pig or pork. For those of you who do not know this, right, you are forbidden to eat this animal according to the God of the Bible, right? Meaning, right, if you're going to eat breakfast, bacon, and sausage, right, that's a sin. A lot of people don't know that this is, they believe. There's a lot of people who believe in the biblical text but do not know that this is in there, right? That's the whole point of me bringing it out. Right, well, I can show you the same thing. I can show you the same thing in the New Testament, right? You ever read you read the New Testament, right?
I've heard a lot of things about it. There's not reading it tonight.
You say that again?
In terms of, I've heard a lot of things about pork, but in terms of religion and all that. Anyways, please continue.
Okay. So, breakfast bacon and sausage, chitlins, pickled pig's feet, right? All of those honey ham sandwiches that everybody loves so much, right? At Quiznos and Subway and these sandwich shops and so forth, right? It's also a sin to eat all of those pepperonis on those pepperoni pizzas that everybody loves so much, right? These are all an abomination according to the God of the Bible, right? And my ending statement, right, unless there's any questions, because I am a biblical instructor, right? So if anybody got any questions about anything, they want to read any verses to say, hey man, what you mean about what? That's not true, because I'm willing to go as far as anybody ever wants to go in the Bible, right? We does this, right? So my ending statement is to all those of you who do believe in the Bible, right? If you continue,
what denomination would you relate to?
All right. Well, there's no denomination. I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah, right? So no denomination. I just believe in the Bible, what it says, and that's it, right? So okay. So again, to all those of you who believe in the Bible, if you continue to eat the flesh of the pig, right, you will not make it into the kingdom of heaven. Thus saith the Lord. And if anybody wants to read that, right, that is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, and verses 7 through 8, to read that thing for yourselves. Now, just to say something else, I'm going to show something else, right? Because a lot of people, like you said, you have an instant like, well, that's kind of the Old Testament, and we can eat pork now because, after Christ came, right. You didn't exactly say that, but that's kind of like what you were insinuating. That's what I'm assuming.
For sure. So now, there's the first and the second testament, according to King James version, or they're getting a few Bibles, right? Christ was the Savior, they say. I don't know for sure. I wasn't there.
Do you believe in the Bible, or you don't believe in the Bible?
All right, sorry.
You said what? I said, do you believe in the Bible, or you don't believe in the Bible?
I think it's a perspective that people could take into consideration.
Well, I'm specifically asking you, right? Do you believe in the Bible, or you don't believe in the Bible?
I'm not like.
Listen to the question.
I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian.
Listen. Hold on. Before you answer another question that I didn't ask, just pay attention, right? I know a lot of people do this, right? So I'm asking you something very specific, right? So, do you believe in the Bible, or do you not believe in the Bible?
I think it happened to a degree. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you believe in the Bible?
Yes.
Okay, you believe in the Bible. Okay, so now in the book that you say you believe in, right? It says that it's in a Bible. Let me read you this then, right? So it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, right, and verses 15, right? So now the reason why I'm reading this is because a lot of people, like you said, because you stated, well, we have an Old Testament and that's the New Testament. That's the old. When I brought up the commandment of eating swine being a sin, you said that's the Old Testament, which would insinuate that you believe that, hey, since after Christ came and he died on the cross, now we can eat pork because that was the old ways of living. So now we have a New Testament that we live under, right? So I'm going to read you something, right? So here's the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verses 15 through 17. It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, right? And with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury, right? And his rebuke with flames of fire." So God is, in layman terms, God is coming back with fire, right? And he's very, very angry. Okay, verse 16, it says, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh." Let's stop there. Has the Lord ever pleaded with all flesh on the face of the planet with his sword and by fire? Absolutely not, right? So this is eschatology. This is something that's going to happen on the second coming of Christ, right? On the Lord's return, right? It says, "And the slain of the Lord shall be many," meaning that means is God is he's gonna have to kill a lot of people, and the next verse is going to tell you why he's gonna have to kill a lot of people, right? That's verse 17. It says, "They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh." I'm gonna repeat that again. It says, "Eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse," here's the key part, "shall be consumed together, saith the Lord." Now when it says saith the Lord, that means God's the one that says, the Father said this. And when it says shall be consumed together, what that means is they shall be consumed in that fire that he's coming to judge the earth with, right? So the God of the Bible in layman terms says if he was to return, when on the second coming of Christ, when he cracks the sky, right, and he catches anybody eating pork, he's going to engulf them in flames of fire immediately upon seeing them. Do you agree with the text? That's the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, and verses 15 through 17. That's a prophecy of the return of Christ. Do you agree with the text?
I don't dispute it.
Okay, do you agree with it? Because you said you believe in the Bible, right? Okay,
Yeah,
okay, so...
But I'm not, by no measure am I a theologist.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not a theologist either.
Yeah.
That's fine, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just showing you what's inside of the book that you say you believe in, right? So now, can we eat pork still? What do you think? According to the God of the Bible.
Perhaps not.
You said what?
Perhaps not.
You gotta speak up a little bit. Say that again.
Perhaps and perhaps not.
Okay, so why would you say perhaps if we just read in Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15 through 17 that God is going to burn everybody who eats pork on the second coming of Christ with that flames of fire that he's going to judge the world with? Why would you say perhaps we can eat pork?
Well, I mean, because, I have like a ham sandwich and I'm going to hell. That sounds a little ridiculous.
Well, why would it be ridiculous if God says it's a sin and he says don't eat that? That's an abomination. And you say I'm going to eat it anyway. Why would that be ridiculous?
Well, it's not as much as like I say like, as a friend to God, as much as like sometimes, Black Forest ham is not bad or, it's just a matter of... You're going like
in and out. There you go. I'm listening. Go ahead.
In terms of like price and blah blah blah.
You said what? What are you saying?
Like I'm not eating ham to try and piss off God as much as I'm eating ham because sometimes you like honey ham, sometimes you like old-fashioned ham, etc.
Right, but
if it's
okay. Now God, now think about this. I want you to think about what you're saying, right? God said if you eat pig, it's a sin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you understand that, right? And let's just say you didn't understand that beforehand. That's fine, right? A little bit of ignorance here and there. Understood, right? But now you understand it's a sin to eat pig, right? You just said I have a honey ham sandwich that I want to eat, right? So now God says that that's an abomination, and an abomination means that it's something that God actually extremely hates when people do that. So what you're saying, and in the book of Isaiah 66, God said he's going to kill everybody on the second coming of Christ who's eating pork. So,
Right.
how are you still? So you're still gonna eat pork? Is that what you're saying?
Well, let me.
I mean, you can do what you
let
want.
me
I'm just trying to get your what's going on in your mind.
Of course.
So are you still
Let's
gonna
go
eat
with-
pork, knowing that God is gonna kill everybody who eats pork? Are you still gonna eat pork?
Right. Shut-ins.
Are you still gonna eat it?
Yeah, I am gonna eat it. Yes, I am. Unfortunately.
All right. Well, hey, when you're screaming in pain because the God of the Bible is burning you in fire, at least you
Right.
won't be confused why.
No, absolutely. Because I had some bacon one morning. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Totally reasonable. And
Yes,
I say
sir.
this
It's
to
really
you, my friend.
deeper than that. It's really deeper than that. It's because you're disobeying God. Right? The one that controls whether you have a heart attack tonight or not. Right? He could put you to rest tonight.
Yeah.
Right? If he wanted to, he can put you to rest in your sleep tonight, right? He doesn't
Right,
have to
right.
he doesn't have to give you any chances,
Absolutely.
right?
No,
So he
no.
can say
Yeah.
I've had it with this guy. I've been trying to show him for this many years. So tonight he's done, right? He can make that decision if he wants, right? So the fact that
Yeah,
that's the
no.
power that you're dealing with, and you make that decision to say I ain't gonna do what you say anyway, you most likely
Right,
deserve every bit of whatever comes to you, right? Even if it's a grievous death, you deserve that grievous death, because what you said was
Absolutely.
what you said was is I don't care what God says. I'm gonna do what I want to do, regardless of what the Almighty Power says.
You kept speaking, and you wouldn't give me a chance to respond. You
Okay, go
continued
ahead.
to speak for the last 10 minutes with your self-righteous nature, which is fine, because you've looked at this text and that text, right? Let me say this to you, right? Let me say in regards to, let's say, people who like chitlins, or people who, let's say, pig was the only food they had available at the time. You know, people of the South, let's say, whatever color they may be, okay? Well, that's all they had to eat, besides dirt, okay? And when was that law decreed? You know when those texts were written at the time?
Yes, I'm a biblical instructor. Yes, sir.
Of course, yes. What years?
Around 12 to 1400 BC.
There
That's
you
when
go.
Moses. That's when
Okay.
Moses wrote the Torah law. So
Exactly.
thousands of years ago.
And there were Irish people who crossed the ocean, right? And you know the potato famine.
Yes, I've
know
heard
what
of that.
is,
Yeah,
right?
indentured servitude.
Exactly.
I understood.
Well, you know where that came from, of course, right?
Where?
From the royal family. They decreed that Irish could not eat pork, they couldn't eat beef, they couldn't eat a bunch of foods, right? All they could eat was potatoes. Okay. You realize this?
No, you'd have to prove that to me. I have some documents
Well,
on
I
it
don't
in my
have to
phone.
prove it to you. It's just a fact. I know about this.
Well, you do
in
have
the
to
same
prove
sense
it.
that, in the sense that I'm an individual, right? And you have your text and you have your Bible study. Yeah. But sometimes all we got to eat is some pig. All we got to eat is some vegetables. That's all we got. And if you expect everybody to starve because, like, well, God doesn't like that you had a ham sandwich one time, too fucking bad. Or God doesn't like that a woman wore a dress or a pants one time, too fucking bad. Then send me to hell. Because that's not the kind of God I want to worship.
All right. Well, you definitely will be going there, sir, upon your own merit. All right. And honestly, I don't feel sorry for you.